Well, we bought a dirt bike.
Pretty bad shape. We are going to try to fix it up for you guys.
Turns out it's a Honda xr200r. It needs work. The bearing on the connecting rod is bad. Welcome back to the garage. Hi guys, it's Eric.
And Nico.
And we're gonna do an unboxing on a Zongshen, I believe Zongshen, I might be saying that wrong, 250cc Honda direct bolt up clone-ish kind of motor we bought on Amazon for a couple $100. Couldn't find parts for the top end on the 200R that weren't used or in needing of boring and honing and all that stuff. For some reason, some dirt bikes, like the Polaris stuff, you can just go on Amazon and for $50, you get a new cylinder and piston and everything ready to go. But I guess the Honda XR, that's not available for at least for this 200R XR that we have. So we're gonna try bolting in a Chinese motor. And you know, we're gonna take everything else apart and paint the frame. We've done a lot of that stuff anyway, but for now, we're gonna do the unboxing, so check it out. Here we go. Nico, go ahead and take the camera, and I'm just gonna open this sucker up. It says it's fragile, handle with care. I wonder if they did. All right. They definitely packaged it very well. This came in about, maybe it took 3 or 4 days to get here from Amazon, and I want to say I paid less than $500 for it. And it's supposed to bolt right in place of a Honda XR motor. And from what I've seen on the EGRs and the Trailmasters and the SSRs and all these new Chinese dirt bikes that are out, that the quality has improved dramatically since they started doing it. So I don't know. For me, I figure if we can get another dirt bike riding for when my dad's here in the winter, your grandfather, Nico.
Yeah.
This might be a good solution for that. And we have some Chinese bikes. We have a Trailmaster TM31 for my wife, and I have a TM38. And you know what? They're not bad. They feel just like the old Hondas, but with new technology like disc brakes and things like that. So that's pretty cool. Nico, I'm pulling the top off. Can you take a look at that?
Let's go see.
I guess maybe I opened it up upside down. That's okay. I'll use this as a base to set it in, and I'll pull the motor out of the box and set it down inside of here.
Good idea.
Hopefully nothing's damaged. Also, this motor will have electric start. It's not light.
Open key.
Thank you. Oh boy. Oh, there it is. That's a big old honking motor. And it came with a nice little gear shifter. There should be a side cover for the chain in here somewhere. Let's see what else we got. A CDI unit. And it came with a wiring harness. And that's the side cover for this, for the sprocket goes. I'm not sure what pitch this is, but I did find a part number for a 520 chain, which the Honda XR had. So I'll share that in the video description. What else? Kickstarter. And you know what? A lot of the Chinese bikes at Kickstarters always feel kind of unnaturally shiny and nice, but like cheap. And this one actually just feels like a Kickstarter. So not that we're going to need this because we have electric start and we're going to use it. So there it is. This kit was about $500, maybe a little bit less, with some gaskets and everything for the intake and the exhaust. It came with a CDI unit. It does have the full wiring harness on there, so we should be able to pop this thing and fire it right up. Zongshen. You know what? I'll go ahead and share the link. Oh, look, it's got a cover over the intake. Fantastic. So there won't be a bunch of little balls of styrofoam inside of the head. Oh, and Nico, remember when we bought the valve lash covers for the Honda XR in that fancy red? Well, it looks like they're the same size, so we should be able to use them on this new motor too.
Yahoo!
This looks like it might be in a slightly different location, and I have seen in the past where people have done this. So we might have to just fabricate up a motor mount for the top portion of it.
Luckily, we just got a 3D printer.
Well, we won't use the 3D printer for that. We're going to have to use metal, but we have a plasma cutter. That's the green thing that you saw me cutting the metal with earlier. See if that's enough. Well, so the other side's hitting too, so I need to do some more grinding. I'm gonna switch tools. I'm gonna use an angle grinder, and I'm just gonna slice instead of trying to gracefully remove material. Now, the further I get it in, the further I realize I have a ton more material I need to remove, so we'll cut to the chase, as they say. I'm gonna need a new angle grinder, but that should give us the clearance that we need. Let's find out. So I'm looking at this frame and it looks like it's bent here on the bottom. I'm not sure if it's supposed to be like that or not, but I'm wondering if I pull this down a little bit to make some clearance. I pretty much got that one bolt in. It's about aligned on that point right there, but that one's gonna be, you know, not right. If it's sitting about like that, it's probably a truer. And then this one in the front, you know, needs to come down a lot, and I don't think it's going to get there because of the frame like that. So I'm going to look it up, but I think I'm going to pull that down a little bit. One bolt through. Still hitting here a little tiny bit.
Yeah.
It's keeping the motor from going down where it's supposed to go. So this still needs to come unbent a little bit more.
So we can use the tractor.
So I'm going to use my tractor, pull this motor out of here. I'm going to have to tie this off to a tree, and I'm going to have to pull backwards on this a little bit with a strap and see if I can get it to unbend just a little bit more. We don't want to go too far, but that's what's keeping the motor from being able to go in. Otherwise, it's very close. That one is almost there. That one is so almost there. And that one, you know, again, it's in on the other side, but it's held up a little high because of that. So anyway, like I said, I gotta go pull on it with a tractor. I'll tell you something that's a real bummer is when you spent the whole day thinking that you're doing a time lapse and you find out that the camera wasn't working. So as of right now, I'm to this point. You missed nothing major. Putting side covers on from Meyer. They actually come with instructions, which I recommend taking a peek at. They tell you exactly what to use and everything just works out great. I fought and fought and fought. Man, we tried using the tractor and all sorts of things to try to pull this little bend out to get this to come lower. But we ended up getting it to where it needed to be, to where I can get all the motor mounts through. Factory motor mount bolt is not long enough, but that and also at the top there, I'm going to need to make some spacers to sort of fill in that gap. But that way the stock motor mount will work. The longer screw and some spacers. This down here actually just works. I got one more bolt to put in, but it is lined up, and I will be able to put it in. Other than that, I've been popping on the wiring harness for this motor. I decided that I would use all the stuff that was for that motor. I thought about cheating and using the Honda coil. I don't think that would make any difference at all, to be honest with you. The CDI should have the appropriate curve for this thing. So, yeah. Also, I was surprised to find out that this motor, this particular motor, the ZoomAv 250cc, actually has a 520 sprocket on it. So I didn't need to order that other sprocket, but it'll go on the wall. I'll use it eventually. And if you look here, this is, in fact, I don't know if you're gonna be able to see it or not, but it is a true 250cc engine. So the exhaust flange didn't fit. So what I did is I made the holes slightly larger, and then I cut them out to the edges. I did that for both of them, so that I was able to use the stock Honda exhaust on here. And yeah, so I mean, it's going together pretty good. It's not that difficult. I'll hopefully be able to get a proper time lapse going, and so you can see the rest of the progress. Sorry about that, Joe. bell. Peace.